We've spent over 10 years on air, shaping a generation of action motorsports, and now we're changing the game again. The best motorsports, the best action sports, and the best of pop culture with some epic guests thrown in. I am Jim Beaver, and this is the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone. Grab the popcorn. Welcome to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone here I'm going to attempt to get the name of this event correct. The HCR Racing side-by-side rally on the rocks.
Is it presented by, or is it the HCR? And is it HCR? Is it HCR Racing, or is it HCR Suspension?
I don't know. Anyways, we're in San Hollow. We're at an event that was like, it's got two names, and HCR's involved with it. And we've had a hell of a good time so far. And we're at Kawasaki watching these Terex demo rides. We've got all these Terexes here. I don't know, you and I have been out on the rocks. We've had some good times behind the scenes. And I don't know, it's a solid event this last day of it. I'm kind of bummed a little bit, but the scenery's been beautiful.
Yeah, this one I'm curious to see if it grows into a full week like the original rally was. And it was a lot for everybody to kind of take a week off and go up on a Monday through Friday event. So I was interested to see the 3-day, and I come out here all the time. There's only so much to see. But after being out here for 3 days, I'm with you. It's kind of not long enough. I feel like hopefully they'll add a day or two in the future.
I guess part of it is like our camp. We got an amazing camp group, and we're so used to being at Hammers on the lake bed for like 2 weeks. So it's like you come somewhere where it's like 3 or 4 days, and it's like, okay, like it's over. No, I think, honestly, if it would have started Monday, load-in was Sunday, it would have been Monday, and then everything happens through Friday, and then everybody leaves on Saturday, I think that would be proper.
And you're right. If we were sitting around twiddling our thumbs, it'd be different. But, I mean, we've definitely we've had a good time at our camp.
Yeah, we've had a good time on the rocks. We've had a blast at camp. We're going to have some of our friends who are joining us in camp who also have industry jobs. They're going to be chiming in here later on. But, yeah, it's been a blast. I mean, we've had this KRX Kawasaki. We're thankful enough that they gave us, and we got to kind of put it through its paces. This is really the first time you've been, in Terex is a ton, Britt, but this is the first time that you you got behind the wheel of the KRX, but it's the first time you've actually had one of the KRX 1000 really put it through the paces, right?
Yeah, so it was first for both of us, right? Yeah. I mean, I'll bring it up because you're still sitting there fighting with yourself, but you did a great job. So, of course, first trail I go take them on, never rock crawled. Let's go on Double Sammy. Anyone that's been on that course, on that trail knows, I mean, you don't have obstacles. The whole thing is an obstacle. And then after that, we went through it all, and I ran a couple pieces and stuff. We actually ran the first part twice. I called it pre-running. He might call it getting lost. I'm not really sure which one. But then after that, next day we did Plan B, and I wasn't even spotting at that point. I just got out and started taking pictures. So,
yeah, that was, and it was literally on my end, a world of difference from day one to day two. Day one, I was just like white knuckle stressed out. Like, I'm a desert guy. I'd never been on things like that. Like, I look at an obstacle, I'm like, how the hell am I going to climb up this? And we've got a cheater car in the KRX 1000 that makes it really, really easy to rock crawl. But it was one of those where, like, you look at these and it's intimidating. And then you drive them, and then it's like, by day two, I was like, oh, I know what this thing will do. And it was like, I was all good. But it was like day one, I mean, I was a little stressed out. Like, I got kind of quiet and just, like, in my headspace. And
that's the thing. You can't get in your head. That was the hardest thing. There's one or two, right, obstacles you rolled around where I walked up to the car. First thing I said, don't psych yourself out when you see it. Watch the spotter and just know your vehicle. Yeah. And it's smooth and steady. You just got to keep that throttle control and that pace and trust your car and trust your spotter. At that point, like, it does the work for you, but it's difficult to kind of let go, and it's exact opposite of most things that we do. Like I said, what's going to be awesome is, some of the races we have done where we've had more technical areas, off-camber areas. I'm not going to call it rock crawling, but, we've had to go through a few boulders here and there. And I know you're going to pick up quite a bit of speed now, knowing and comfortable and how to go through without having to worry about hurting the car. because you've seen what 20 cars could go through all day and not have any issues. Nobody got hurt, no parts, nothing. So they're extremely capable.
Yeah, that was kind of the surprising thing for me is like, yeah, there was no problems, no anything. It's amazing the capabilities of UTVs now, and especially this KRX. I think it turned some heads. We're out on the trails just because it billy goated up everything. Put it in lock mode and it just goes. I
mean, I like not smelling belt all day.
Yeah.
That was kind of my favorite part. So it was refreshing. And then, like I said, at first, watching you open, I'm sitting here watching what I'm used to, the cage being open on the axle or on the CB, going, all right, cool, don't fully crank it. I'm not. I'm only like 3/4. Okay, well, it doesn't look that way. And then I get in it, and even with diff lock, it's still wide open. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no, he's right. Power steering, like I said, there's certain ways, because you're talking about like the original Terex versus this. When you put that original Terex in a diff lock, you could not move that steering wheel right or left. Like there was no, it was point and shoot. You set yourself up ahead and went. And so just to kind of watch you freely. I mean, there was one point at first where I'm like, are you sure you have it in?
I had a line there, but we're not.
That was what the snicker was. I'm like, no.
That's what she said. I had to do it.
I giggled at myself after I said it.
We had to go there. We just had to.
It's starting early today, folks.
In good faith, I had to go there. But yeah, no, that was fun. I mean, this place is beautiful. Like, and I know when they moved this event from Moab here to Sand Hollow, I think, is this the second one? They had one last fall, I believe.
So they've had a few. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 years. And what they had is the side-by-side Adventure Rally. And it was put on by the same people. So same event, basically 2 locations. One was summer, one was winter. Just because this one was a little bit closer, cooler, different things. May can go hit or miss in Moab. So it can be hot, cold. We usually get 1 or 2 beautiful days, 1 or 2 hot days. You know how it goes. And November here at Rally, it's beautiful. Everybody's usually up for SEMA anyways, so it's an hour-and-a-half drive from Vegas. It became so popular, the May event, and so many people just couldn't do it because it was during the week. So they kind of branched off and just made a secondary event that was a little bit shorter and a little bit easier for those in the Southwest area to kind of show up and get a mini taste of what they could experience. And then in, the recent events, recent years, everything, it's gotten so popular where it's easy just to combine it into one event and do one event right.
Yeah, and they've definitely done this one right. It's the backdrop is what it's mind-blowing. We've got all the rocks and sand, across the road. We're looking at this beautiful lake, like the red dunes. Like, it's just beautiful up here. Like, I can honestly say you and I are going to be here more than once a year. Like, I've fallen in love with the place just in a couple of days. It's rad.
Well, there's certain spots I could go take pictures, and I could tell you that I was in Colorado. I was in Moab. I was at Lake Powell.
You're at Sedona.
Yeah, Sedona. Even Jawbone in Southern California. I could literally get 5-6 different terrains. I mean, where else can you camp on the beach with your UTV and your boat? You can literally back your boat into the water and go wakeboard and then go UTV riding and not have to trailer anywhere, not have to do anything illegal. It's actually allowed.
I think the only other place would be where we went last June, Pirates Cove.
Yeah, exactly, that same setup.
Pirates Cove. Literally, it's the only other place I know where you can have your UTV and your boat at the same time and just leave either direction. And we did that. But it's been, it's awesome. It's great.
It's just different.
Yeah.
But it's different. There's a little bit of a lot, I guess, is the best way to explain it. It's not huge, but there's a little bit of everything here.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, we're hanging out here at the Kawasaki activation here at Sand Hollow. We're going to take a short commercial break, and we come back. I don't know, maybe we'll have some guests. Maybe it'll be Brittney and I chatting. We'll see what's going on, but we'll be back after this on the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone. General Tire delivers for whatever life brings your way. General Tire's Grabber X3 all-season mud terrain tire offers aggressive styling and is engineered for durability with innovative performance features that are ready to carry you through extreme mud, dirt, and rock-covered terrain. For extreme traction that's ready for anything and rugged styling to match, look no further than the Grabber X3. General Tire delivers. Check out GeneralTire.com today. General Tire, official tire of the Jim Beaver Show.
Conditions off the pavement are always changing, so why settle for a light bar that just turns on and off? The Rigid Adapt is a revolutionary new light bar that will automatically select from 8 beam patterns that range from a widespread 90-degree flood to a 15-degree spot based on your vehicle's speed. Try that with your knockoff light bar. A dash-mounted controller allows the user to toggle between adaptive mode, beam patterns, and RGBW accent lighting. With Adapt, it's easier than ever to own the night.
Dig what you're hearing? Well, do us a favor. Head over to Apple Podcasts and rate, review, and subscribe to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone and catch all of our back episodes. Welcome back to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone out here at the Side-by-Side Adventure Rally on the Rocks in the Kawasaki activation. We've got, what do we call him? The Kawasaki hype man, Paul Jacobs.
Or the weather miser. We haven't decided
I laughed.
yet.
I was like, you're like, oh, yeah. I was like, I've seen you grab a mic at the Mint. You know how to work a mic a little bit.
Hey, I can do it when I need to. Like I said, I don't talk a whole lot in real life, but at work, you just flip that switch and, you go to town.
So he's admitted he doesn't want to talk to us.
Yeah, it's funny, though. It's because we mentioned off air, and her and I this is the rabbit holes we go down on the show. Her and I are both deeply introverted people, but we can flip the switch, and you're just like, I'm an introvert too. But it's like in this industry, we've all learned, like, you just know how to flip the switch.
Yep. Yeah, you got to be able to talk to people, know your product, and be able to just go on and on and on and on. And on.
Or you black out and you go, what just happened?
It's like you can go back to the hotel room at the end of the night, and sometimes it's just like a crash. You're like, all right, I can take that. You know what I mean? It's like, her and I at the end of the night, it'll be like, yeah, we won't even talk to each other for 30 minutes. It's not awkward. It's just like, all right, both of us are decompressing.
Oh, yeah. Especially at the end of an event. We do 3, 4-day, 5-day events. King of Hammers, we're there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So every day I'm on the microphone or I'm leading a demo. You talk the whole time. As soon as I roll out in the tractor, it's just pure silence. I don't even turn on the radio sometimes.
Yeah.
You walk into a gas station and you're like, you're still in work mode talking, and they're like, so did you want 50 on 5?
So I laugh because we've got to know you really well because Brittney and I travel about as much as you do. And our paths have been crisscrossing the country.
Yeah.
We stalk him.
Okay, we stalk Paul.
I do have a fan page. It's stalkpaul.com.
Well, I was like, a fan page or no? Okay, we won't go there.
Yeah, that's different. That's where I make my real money. But,
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
But, yeah, no, it's been great seeing you guys. It's lovely having you on site. I really enjoy it. And obviously you guys got a good following. All the people you draw in are great to talk to. So it's been fun for us, too.
Yeah, well, we're finally at a warm one together. I mean, Dallas was like miserably cold, then it shouldn't have been. And like King of the Hammers, I mean, that was the one we had McGrath on, and Jeremy's sitting there, and I was like, he looks miserable.
He's shivering. Get the guy a
in
coat or
parka.
something. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't know, it's just weird. I'm like, we finally got a warm event here.
Yeah.
Well, and at first, we had that few hours of wind, and I was like, where's Paul? I was like, still, he hasn't finally it broke out, so we're not going to blame you anymore. You're off the hook.
All right, I get one event a year, right?
Yeah. Hopefully it ends up being more. No, I mean, tell us a little bit about what's going on here. Obviously, KRX, I know the new 2023 KRXs, we've got some new colorways and things like that. New special edition Terex that came out. I mean, you guys got round 1 of product drops, and round 2 comes in about a month. There's some more surprises up your sleeve, but I mean, new. I guess the big one too for me, both of us big dirt bike fans, the 250X, all new engine in that thing. I mean, this is
brand new ground up. I mean, that thing's going to be awesome. I haven't got a chance to throw a leg over one yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I was like, we were literally, I was trying to get, we were going to get 2022 250Xs, and all of a sudden I was like, I'm so glad we waited.
Yeah. Not that you couldn't get a great return on a used one right now. I mean, the market's so hot, but
probably
definitely
make money
worth
right
it.
now, honestly.
Yeah, honestly. But yeah, some of those the drops on this one are going to be great, and then that June 7th. I think that announcement's going to be huge.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is yet, but from everything I've heard from inside people, you're going to want to wait for this one. You want to pay attention. And that's my birthday, so obviously it's going to be something awesome.
Oh, yeah, see, I can't wait to turn it back on him. I'm going to tell everybody it's his birthday, so he has everybody walk up while he's at the booth. Hey, happy birthday. I heard it's your birthday today.
I don't think it'll end up being as epic as yours look like.
Yeah, do you tell corporate or something, hey, this is my birthday. Are you going to gift me a present, one of the releases?
Yeah, just show up with one with a giant bow on it. I could do that. I got room in one of these trailers. I can find something.
You'll find
a way to
room,
get it home. Right?
He's down the 15 with goggles.
Hey, yeah.
So you had a good question, though. It was like, we always have questions, you know what I mean, to kind of get to know people. But you had one up your sleeve that you wanted to ask him, kind of his gateway into the industry.
Yeah,
right?
I was like, well, we could have some lame icebreakers, right? This or that, what's your favorite color? And obviously we could talk about what your favorite Kawasaki deal is, but we could do that all day. But that's going to be that, forced conversation.
Sure.
What I love is it's so interesting hearing everybody's background. How did you get into this? And whether it was straight from Kawasaki or it was a lead-in, nobody just decides one day they see it online and go, I'm going to go from working at McDonald's to doing that.
Yeah, well, I was working at McDonald's. Actually, I worked in retail for about 10 years. I was a store manager for T-Mobile. And I just decided one day I hated being in the office, didn't want to be behind a TV screen.
That explains the stance.
Yep.
That's why he's got the counter stance down. It makes so much more sense. Yeah. If
Did you get to wear a pink polo, though?
I did. Magenta. Get it
Magenta.
right.
It's T-Mobile Magenta.
Yeah, exactly. Official. I got sick of it and I quit. I bought a sailboat. I sailed around for a couple of years, and up and down the coast, did all the waterways, had a great time, ran out of money. And I decided I had to go back to work, and my buddy had been working in marketing, doing live events for a long time, and he's like, hey, Paul, you need to come try this. It's right up your alley. It's like,
it's just like sailboating.
It doesn't sound like a job at all. Like, I'm not doing that. And I did it, and I loved it. So I worked for the U.S. Army team for a long time.
Okay.
We did the NHRA drag races, so I got to go to all the drag races all over the country, so that was an amazing time for
They're
5
a boring
years.
crowd for sure.
Oh, yeah. Nothing interesting going on there at all.
No. Especially after hours, never anything fun.
Yeah, no, you don't see anything good. That job ended, and this one popped up the very next weekend. So I came over and I started working for Feld. We do Supercross, we do Monster Jam, and we got this relationship with Cowie now, and it's going awesome. I had a great time. The first year I did the Good Times demo tour. We do the street bikes at the dealerships, and then I moved over. I found out KRX was coming out at the end of 2019, and I was like, I got to do the off-road world. So I've been here ever since.
It's not a bad way to start, to dip your toes in it, right?
No.
It's, like I said, it's not quite sailboating. It's actually the exact opposite in probably every way. But it does explain the bun.
Yeah. Did you sell the sailboat, or do you sell it?
I sold it, yep. That was my last little bit of cash. I sold the sailboat and made it long enough to get to the next job.
So is there in the back of your mind at some point, though, I'm going to rebuy a sailboat?
I think I would, yeah. I'd like to do a longer sail this time. The plan was to make it around the world, but when you run out of money getting to the Bahamas, you're like, you know what?
It's where OnlyFans comes in.
Yeah, see? If I'd only known a couple years earlier, I got some really nice-looking feet, so... Throw some nail polish on there, nobody will know.
Oh.
Paul, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, welcome. Hey, thanks, everybody.
So, Terex KRX 1000. So before you joined the demo tour, you'd spent much time behind the wheel of a side-by-side UTV, anything? Or
Not for a lot of years. Growing up, I was in New Hampshire. All my buddies had side-by-sides and ATVs and dirt bikes, and we rode around a lot there. But it'd probably been 10, 15 years at least since I've been in anything. So we found out this was coming out. We went to the launch event, and then we decided, hey, we got to do this demo tour. So we went out and we demoed all the Can-Ams, the Polarises, the Yamahas, saw what they were doing. We're like, you know what, we can do better than that. We want it to be interesting, we want it to be fun, and we want it to be educational. So the way we do it, we set it up so that you get to experience, what the unit is capable of, but you also learn a little bit about it. So we kind of teach you, what the low power mode does, how to use it, when you want to shift between high gear and low gear, stuff like that. So we kind of make it a learning experience for us and for you. We get to meet you and come out and do some fun stuff with you. Everybody gets to smile all day long, and then when you go home, you're like, hey, I learned something today.
And that's the thing. When there's a handshake and there's a casual, you can have
look
YouTube.
at that KRX. That's sick looking.
That is a nice looking
see?
That is
We talked
killer.
about the wheel tire, center of gravity, that billy goat conversation.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm laughing because we're out with 20. They're industry cars. They're vendor cars. So they are built over the top. It's people come to the shows to see who's doing every new product. I mean,
$100,000 builds,
Yeah, and we're literally out there in a stock demo. And people are walking up going, what do you, and I'm listening to conversation on a few that had met on the trails where they're looking and they're like, yeah, and then, there's these guys over here and they've got all this stuff done and this and that. And I kind of look over and I go, that one's actually stock. And they kind of take a double take at me because it is so different and it looks it's all aftermarket, but it's aftermarket from the factory now.
Yeah, they saw all the stuff the industry was doing, and they're like, we're going to come to market. We're going to do all that stuff right out of the box, so people don't have to go out and buy a new wheel and tire package. They don't have to go out and put a full-size door on it. They don't need a better roll cage or whatever. You can run it as it is out of the box, and that's some of our best days is going out on these group rides with people, have all that money in their units, and we've got a base unit, and we do whatever they do easier.
So you like pissing people off.
I mean, I'm not going to say that, but I'm educating them on the beauties of Kawasaki is what I'm doing.
They learned yesterday what 2 inches of wheelbase does.
Yeah.
Like for a 2-seat to 2-seat, seriously, like there were certain things that there was nothing more than just being light on the front tires and having a certain amount of wheelbase, and it would take 5, 6, 7, 8, or being forced to do a bypass. And for somebody that literally is on day 1 and 2 of rock crawling that was able to do these and do these comfortably and not even spin the tires just because that extra, and that's what I mean. They spent so much time and research, but like we've talked about before, this is the proving grounds for it, right? They came out, they tested it first, and they said, this is just a little too short. Let's go back to the drawing board and take that time to put that extra 1 inch in here because it's going to make that much of a difference, and it has.
Yep. One thing we get all the time on these group rides when we go out with the KRX, people are like, that's a cheat car. It doesn't count. You can't do it in that. You got to do it in one of these. Well, why would I? I buy this.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing seeing the capabilities of this unit and what it can really do. And obviously the demo tour, we got some newbies there, we got some novices, people intermediate. It's nice to get those people in there and be able to say, hey, you can go through this. It looks gnarly, but just drive behind us and you'll be fine.
But you guys take them on decent rides, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not like you're like, hey, we're going to go out and we're going to go, you guys are maxed out on the slow key, it's 20 miles an hour, so you can sit in it and feel what it drives like in the throttle. Like, I'm listening to your briefing, and it's, okay, we're going to go up here and make sure you hit this speed, get some over here, don't go off this cliff. Like, you guys take them through some decent stuff.
Oh, yeah. We get all over the country, and some of these places we get to are super gnarly with lots of great obstacles in them. And we want to be able to say that, yeah, we can take you through that. And we're not worried about the machine breaking. We're not worried about you hurting yourself. We're not worried about any of that stuff because the KRX is just so good.
So I guess with demo tour, obviously we're out here at Sand Hollow. Where's the tour go next? I know you guys got stuff scheduled, throughout the year. What's the next big ones you guys are going to be hitting?
Yeah, so whenever they do that launch, we're going to be there for that. So I got a little birthday party already set up by Cowie, and I got a whole week playing with them with whatever new toy comes out. So that'll be great for me. Later on in the year, we're going to be we're doing some Monster Jam VIP events.
Nice.
So we go to Nashville and Cleveland back to back. Those are great events. You get to get out on the field, go over all the same jumps and whoops and everything that the monster trucks go over. I mean, you're in the dirt inside a stadium.
That's right.
Something very few people get to do. So those are great. So if you can make it out to that, I highly recommend it.
Are you sure? You just remember who you're talking to, right? I know you say you're not worried about the cars breaking, but you throw us on a monster truck track. I don't know.
Hey, we took a couple of the monster truck drivers and let them drive them, and they were impressed. They did some crazy stuff, but the units definitely held up really well.
I think we were talking. Did Todd LeDuc do one time?
I think Todd was at it one.
We're friends with Todd LeDuc, and we were talking with Todd and something, and he goes, "Oh, I got to do one of those demos." He goes, "It was so much fun."
Yeah, I can't remember if he did Arlington or if he did Anaheim, one or the other, but yeah, we had a great time there too. We've got those coming up. We're going to be back east for a little bit. We do Brimstone. We'll be out there. We're going to be at Middle America, Prairie City later, I think maybe in the year possibly. We're seeing about that. We get all over the country, East Coast, West Coast, North, South. So if you jump on the Kawasaki website, there's an live events page there. It'll show all of our street bike demo tours where they go to every week, and it'll show all of our stops for the rest of the year too.
Can we just get a punch card?
You should. Yeah, I think the more you come to, the more better deal you get. We give you a longer demo tour or something.
How many do we have to make it before we get a free one?
You have to work here.
And it has to be your birthday.
Has to be your birthday.
I'm still waiting for the free one, but we do get a really good friends and family deal, so that's good.
All right, so this is one of my favorite questions for Kawasaki employees. So the headquarters in Southern California, amazing, and it's a cool place, but it's cool only because they've got all the vintage stuff. You got the first jet ski. They've got things like that. What's your favorite vehicle that's there? What's the one if they go, all right, Paul, we're going to allow you to take one home. What are you pulling out of the showroom there?
I mean, it's hard. The museum is awesome. Yeah. I would go with vintage stuff. I mean, I'm an 80s guy. They've got the bike from the original Top Gun there. I would take that home in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I would be Tom Cruise, and I would ride that every single day.
Yeah. That's a big deal with Cowie because they're coming back with the new Top Gun, and Kawasaki's involved with that.
That's right. The new H2 is in there, that carbon. That thing is sweet. So I'd take one of those, too. Maybe you can get both.
Yeah.
I mean...
I keep trying to convince him to let that Takati go that's sitting in there, the three-wheeler, and I think John looked at me and goes, you do realize how many people, and then we had the conversation with McGrath, and McGrath's like, I'm trying to take that thing home.
Oh, yeah. They're not going to let him take it then.
When it goes missing, nobody's going to know who took it.
It could be anybody. But, let me know when you get it, because I'll come over and I'll do some riding.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think we kind of put ourselves on the spot. If the headquarters ever broken into and the only thing's missing is that three-wheeler, they're going to have a pretty good idea who took it. So, all right. Well, Paul, I know you guys are busy. You got this Demo 2 going on, and, man, great catching up, and we will see you out at the next stop, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and always good to see you guys here.
All right. We'll be back after this on the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone here at the Kawasaki Activation at Sand Hollow. General Tire offers a wide variety of options that are designed to deliver for whatever life brings your way. Whether you have a truck, car, or SUV, General Tire delivers for whatever you drive. From the long-lasting all-season Altimax RT43 to the aggressive all-terrain Grabber ATX, General Tire covers on-road performance, off-road capability, and durability. General Tire delivers. For more information, drive over to GeneralTire.com. General Tire, official tire of the Jim Beaver Show. Don't just shred your way through any off-road rugged terrain. Get into gear with GSP XTV and let us redefine your adventure. The GSP Advantage of quality and performance sets a standard for UTV axles. We strive to provide premium ATV and UTV axles to keep you shreddy ready. Kick up some dirt and get in the driver's seat with GSP XTV. With over 35 years of experience, drive with a company you can trust. Drive with GSP. For more information, please visit us at gspxtv.com today. When looking for a new wheel for your off-road vehicle, car, truck, or UTV, the choice is easy. You choose what the pros use. Rob McCachran, Keegan Kincaid, and myself, Jim Beaver, all exclusively use Vision Wheel, whether we're dominating Baja, taking the cup at Cranon, or shredding UTVs. Vision Wheel's trend-setting designs and durability will set you apart from the competition and your friends. Check out visionwheel.com or at Vision Wheel on social media to learn more.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Social media? Yeah, we've got that. Jim Beaver 15 on all major platforms, and Jim Beaver Show, JB15 Group, and B Cardone 15 on the gram. All right, and we are back here at Sand Hollow at the Side-by-Side Adventure Rally on the Rocks with the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone at the Kawasaki Activation. Got our good buddy Dave Kuski with the American Sand Association. You're a guy, I don't know, like as deep as I am in the UTV industry, I'm not nearly as deep as Brittney is years-wise. And I don't know if either one of us are as deep in the UTV industry as you
combined.
Are. Who's been in the industry, in the UTV industry longer, you or Brittney?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have.
I was going to say.
Yeah, early days of all the development.
I'm curious on how early, though. Like, I know you're first. I'm just curious when.
Off-road industry, sand industry, you have us topped hands down. I was just wondering when you got in the UTV side of things.
The early days of the UTVs with the Rhinos when they were getting built up, myself and a couple other guys out there were developing wheels and that where you can take and run the Rhinos and that through the sand dunes. So developing a specialized wheel to fitment to the Rhinos to be able to get to the sand dunes.
So I might actually have them beat. I'm thinking if you weren't early release, that's what I'm saying. How early?
Yeah, it was after they were released and
Okay.
saw the market.
You might be the senior.
I think we have
There
them
you
beat.
go.
She's a senior
We got
citizen
a winner.
here.
So
All right.
the first week that the Rhinos were available, you know my father.
Yes, I do.
See it, gotta have it. Bought it. We took it out to the dirt. Boys were up playing with it, did some donuts, pinned it on a rock. We all know about the HCR kick doors, those little quarter kick doors. Those were within 30 days of the Rhinos coming out.
So you are the senior member of the UTV here.
We got the veteran.
Ooh.
There we go. There's a veteran.
That's my new. Oh, that's sad. That's my new claim to fame.
She's going to start getting AARP mailings now.
Oh, yeah, senior member Dirt Queen. There we go.
No. Oh, how much did Chris pay you to say that one?
He just kept saying, make sure you get it in. Make sure you get it in.
She says that's only allowed 10 days out of the year at King of the Hammers.
Okay. I don't know, but I think it's a real good name for your, your new Bronco.
Okay. I'd be okay with that.
I think it works well.
That works well. So when he starts, and they start saying that to me, I'll be like, oh, no, she's back there.
Yeah. Now
like
she's
that.
got
Good
a
job, Disco.
deflection. You just named her Bronco.
There you go. And you know what? You're right, because I do remember the suspension kits and things like that HCR was doing back in the day. And, your father still to this day loves the Rhino. He still got them. He still runs around with those things.
Damon's still got a lot of things, though.
Yes, we know.
But they're never the same. It's not like he holds on to something for 10 years. He will re-buy it again. He just sees something random, and he's like, yep, buy it, flip it, figure it out later. I mean, 2 years ago he showed up to Trail Hero in a bone stock 800 4-seat?
Right.
I don't even know how he got it up there.
Well, yeah, that's another.
I think what Damon does is he buys something, then when he gets bored with it, he really doesn't want to get rid of it, but he'll sell it to somebody he knows he can buy it back from, and he just uses them to store it for a few years.
Correct. And he does that thing on, moving warehouses or moving buildings with all of his different toys. I've been a receptacle of some of those toys. So, but hey, what a beautiful day we got going on out here.
Yes, it's gorgeous. It's I mean, day one it was a little windy, and now it's just turned amazing. I mean, this whole place, I've fallen in love with Sand Hollow. It's a great place to have an event like this. I know you're probably a little partial to Glamis though yourself, though, are you?
Yeah, I mean, you get a little spoiled when you've been dooning out there for as long as I've been dooning out there.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about what's going on with the ASA, because I know you got on board, what was it, about a year and a half ago?
About a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
They got a hold of me, put me on the board of directors, started helping them out. Coming from the industry, spent a lot of time helping them out, writing them checks and supporting what they do. They've been fighting to keep trails open, forever. The ASA was the one that got 40,000 acres returned to the off-roaders in Glamis.
Which doesn't happen, right?
No,
we all know.
That was huge. When that broke, everybody, honestly, it was a WTF moment. Everybody's like, what just happened? Because there's no planet this actually happens on.
No. And just an amazing group of attorneys and workers that worked hard on that and was able to succeed. And exactly, there is no place where they actually give you back 40,000 acres. I was up at Desert Storm hanging out up there, and one of the guys that beneficiary of one of the checks said he was there with me and supports the ASA and was up there on the stage. Yeah, they got like 140 acres back, and I had to stand up, and I says, no. We got 40,000 acres, and the whole room went, what?
Right.
Yeah. So very, very successful down there, and being successful there, we're moving on to other areas that we're trying to help with.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, and I know ASA, obviously, we talk about Glamis because that's a big one, but it extends much further than that. It's a lot of different riding areas around the country, right?
Right. So Ecologic is a law firm, ASA's law firm. So, when you spend almost $2 million on the fight down there, you kind of create a law firm. So Ecologic has been using their knowledge of fighting for riding areas where basically some of the briefs that they put together helped at getting Ocotillo reopened. We're part of the fight up at Oceano Dunes, fighting on some of the matter. There's another great group there's called Friends of Oceano Dunes. They're doing an amazing job up front fighting, but you got to have all angles going at fighting to keep these trails and rides open.
But it's good to have case studies, right, on the ones that are successful, that do work, because everybody has that argument of they don't see the behind the scenes. They
Correct.
just see somebody trying to get donations towards a cause, so it's like to be able to have hard evidence to say, look, we spent this much, it took this long, we did this, and this is what we got back out of it. It's huge. It's almost non-existent. Like I said, in my generation, at least, all I've watched is stuff diminish and close down. I've never actually got to see something reopen.
Yeah, correct. And that's one of the things I'm trying to bring to the forefront, because as a business in the industry, coming from the industry, I supported the ASA and what they were doing because I knew. But then there's a lot of people that didn't really realize at what extent the ASA had been working for so many years to fight.
I supported it as a vendor because you stood by it and you told me you need to support these guys.
Right.
So
correct. And there's multiple fights that I'm involved in right now that you really can't even bring public and tell them you're working on it until you get all your ducks in a row and you're moving forward. Because when they find out about it, they just want to jump on and fight you back. So there's a lot of crazy fights out there. Coming from the industry is the easy part, talking to all the vendors, learning this whole, access and the lobbying part and
red tape.
Oh, whole nother level. So it's exactly what you think about and think that it might be, and then some.
I'm more than happy to donate so that I'm not the one having to deal with the red tape. I'm so glad somebody is actually willing to do it.
Yeah, it's very, very rewarding, but then at the same time frustrating, because you know me, I can't leave things alone. I mean, it's just I want to get things done, and it's literally there's so many layers. I even was saying to somebody, it's like peeling back an onion. You just keep peeling it back until you finally get to that sweet spot where you can actually get something accomplished.
Yeah. So, people tuning in, they want to support, the American Sand Association. They want to get involved. What's the best way they can do this?
They can go to our webpage, it's AmericanSandAssociation.org. And you can donate. There's a Get Donate. You can be business sponsors. That's the stuff that I'm trying to bring to the forefront is getting a hold of businesses that are out there that are supporting your right to ride. That's the most important thing. If you're going to be out there riding, you want to definitely spend your money with those companies that are spending their money keeping your riding areas open. So basically, AmericanSandAssociation.org. And you can go to that. You can give donations. You can get on as business sponsor, or my information's on there. You can contact me directly. And
volunteer work for those that don't have the cash to donate. I mean, do you guys have those programs too?
That's just as valuable. The volunteer work is so important. So if you can't give money, there's people out there that can afford it. Just give money. But I can use volunteer work when we do cleanups and when we do get-togethers or anything like that when I've got places.
And those become family events, honestly. You can go out for the weekend and do a trash pickup and help. And time really is money, right, at the end of the day. But then there is always that family gathering, that camping trip afterwards, a barbecue. There's always a reward beyond not only helping the environment, helping the cause, supporting what you're already doing. But honestly, for volunteer work, right? It's a great time.
It is. And you nailed on something there is the environment and all that stuff. Most off-roaders, and people don't realize, is we're very much environmental friendly. We love where we go ride. We like to keep it clean. We like to pick it up. We like to respect the areas.
We usually yell at people when we're sitting there and we see a piece of trash. We go, these people, like everybody, keeps a trash bag in their car, or we're picking up stuff and we're throwing it, in the back of our car to deal with later. Correct. I always leave the desert, whether desert dunes, whatever, I always end up leaving with more stuff than I came with.
Yeah, correct. And that's something I've taught my kids and all the people, matter of fact, camp group that I go with, a lot of them call me Sheriff Dave, just because I'm around, tell them to clean up, pick up, leave it cleaner than what, you showed up with. So, that's the way. Respect the areas that you ride, respect the other people that are out there, leave it cleaner than when you showed up, helps keep from getting our areas closed.
Well, Dave, it's been nice catching up. Thanks for everything you guys at the American Sand Association are doing to, help keep these riding areas open.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate it, guys. Keep up the good work, too.
When it's time to replace the tires on your vehicle, General Tire delivers the tires you need for both your next big adventure and your daily commute. Whether you need all-season traction, lasting tread wear, or a quiet drive, General Tires are designed to deliver whatever life brings your way. From all-season ultra-high-performance tires for passenger cars and crossovers to extreme all-season mud terrain and tires for light trucks and SUVs, General Tire delivers great performance. To find your ideal tire, visit GeneralTire.com. General Tire, official tire of the Jim Beaver Show. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZ RZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Thanks for listening to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone. Available online on SiriusXM, on AM/FM networks across the U.S., and internationally on the American Forces Network. Head to JimBeaver15.com for all the details. Welcome back to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone out here at the Kawasaki Activation demo tour here at San Hall. All right, Twitcher, we're going to put you on the spot. Is it the HCR Racing side-by-side adventure rally on the rocks? Is it HCR suspension or just the HCR, or are you presenting, or your title, right?
Yes, HCR. We'll just call it HCR.
So what is the official, because we've said every different variation throughout the show today. What is the actual name?
HCR side-by-side rally on the rocks.
Okay.
So you dropped the adventure?
Oh, crap. Yes, I did. HCR side-by-side adventure rally on the rocks.
I'm going to make a suggestion. We need a name change. Just call it the HCR Badass Rally next
there you
year
go.
or something.
Yep, I like it.
Yeah, that is quite a mouthful. It's fun to ride on decks when you're pitching it to the boss.
Well, I laugh because, their tag on Instagram, and because I've been tagging them all week, it's so long that it takes up, it goes over the line, to the next one or something. I was it's
just acronym it and confuse everybody.
Well, it used to be, it was the
HCR SXS ROTR.
Yeah, that was it.
2015.
Yeah. That was the acronym forever, the last 8 years or so we've been doing this. So, you guys having a good event out here?
Yeah, I mean, the rocks have been fun. I'm a complete rookie, and been out on the rocks last couple of days with you guys, and I don't think any of us can complain about the nightlife at camp, right?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Everybody's going to bed early.
Everybody's in bed by 9 o'clock, and
yeah,
just as the sun goes down.
We live boring lives.
Yeah, it's very
I
boring.
don't know that it's a good thing that I have two buddies, one that is part owner of a whiskey business and the other one that's sponsored by a whiskey company. Hanging out in camp, that was probably where the wheels kind of fell off.
Last night, yeah.
It was an outdoor karaoke bar. It wasn't camp.
That's true.
I will say we had a couple of HCR employees, and one was calling out the other, saying he could dance better than the other, and it got kind of entertaining there for a while.
Well, everybody knows Robbie dances the best at HCR.
Yeah, but now there's a challenger, and
yeah.
I think this is going to play out over the course of the next 6 to 8 months because
we're going to milk it.
We're going to milk it because he's literally called out Robbie. He says everybody thinks Robbie's the best dancer. He goes, I'm the best dancer.
Was it Austin?
Nobody will give me a chance.
He goes, I'm better. I just need the chance to prove it. You guys won't let me prove it. So they're like, no, there's no way you're bad. And I was like, no, I've smacked him. I'm like, come on, yeah, we want to see it.
It's literally, we need to have a series of challenges for them or something. We're gonna milk it like Britt said. We're gonna make this thing last a while.
I'm just glad I checked with Brandon this morning. I'm like, there's no more birthdays in camp tonight. No more people's first night in camp. So hopefully.
But now it's the last night in camp, so you've got to go.
This is true.
And the concert.
True. And
you're not getting out of having some beers tonight, Pete.
And you don't have to wake up early tomorrow because there's no event, right?
Well, I've got to turn the rental trailers back in. The guys were wanting to get them back. I told them 8, 9 o'clock tomorrow should be good. So.
Well, you just meant at night.
Yeah.
This is like getting a hotel room. Just call for a late checkout.
That's true. I could. So, yeah.
Anyways, I guess we should talk a little bit about things. I mean, HCR has been involved with this since the inception. This event, the big change has gone from, being, Moab, there's here. It's kind of a joint combined event now. I mean, being out on the trails and things like that. I know Brittney was, explaining a little bit, but that's how HCR's kind of the business was built. Was not necessarily being in the booth. It's like we want to get out on the trails. We want to, be amongst the people, helping them out, talking suspension, putting things through the paces, right?
For sure. I mean, that's the only way we know our stuff works is using it, right?
Well, for enthusiasts, by enthusiasts.
Right.
So, and Pro Armor, I mean, you guys, you're at all these events, kind of the same thing. I mean, you're out on the trails with a Pro Armor rig, talking with people. You guys kind of have the same philosophy. Let's not sit back and let people come to us. Let's take the product, and put it in front of people.
Yeah, we definitely try to. I mean, obviously, we're part of a big machine on the corporate side, but there are a handful of us on the development team that get out and ride as much as we can. Get that feedback, get out and meet the consumer, and try and deliver what they're looking for in a part. So, yeah, I mean, and I'm fortunate enough to be the guy that does that mostly for the shop. I'm probably the out and about the most out of everybody on our side.
So you're the fun employed one?
Sure. I mean, there's a handful of not fun projects that I'm responsible for. So I only get to see you guys for the fun part of it, but there's still spreadsheets and PowerPoints and
we do all that stuff too. We just don't talk about it.
I know. See,
we all have a great Instagram life. That's all anybody cares about these days.
True.
Right.
Yeah, like this last week on Instagram, I probably look like a rock star, but it's 1 week out of 2 months, Yep. So,
but you just need to post those pictures every day for the next 2 months, and everybody like, oh man, look at Pete, he's just killing it.
Never in the office.
Yeah, I worry about that though. And then the boss starts wondering, like, where are you today? You're supposed to be in the shop working on something.
There's snow on the mountains. Look.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely different with our setup. My boss is in Minnesota, so reporting to somebody back there is definitely not challenging, but a little different dynamic. So
to explain that you're actually working, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it may look like I'm playing, but I'm actually working.
Well, and it doesn't look like I'm playing. He knows we're at work all the time. But right now, he was here earlier. You guys met him this week, so he gets to come out and do this kind of thing once in a while. And he actually has my role for the Kolpin brand.
Okay.
So one of our sister companies, he's out and about a ton for that brand. But they go obviously a lot more outdoor related events. Yeah. Ducks Unlimited. They go to NFR Rodeo. A lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we were kind of giving him a little crap because she's like, I looked at the shirt and I immediately saw Klonopin. I said, I looked at the shirt and immediately saw Sculpin. And I said, so we've got a drug addict and alcoholic here. He started laughing. He's just shaking his head. We're like, well, being honest, like.
It started a conversation, to say the least. It broke the ice.
That was a hell of an icebreaker. Then we had great conversations after that. But
well, I'll let you know if I get a random, hey, we got to have a conversation about people
who you hang out with, right? We say that all the time, though. Each week we go, man, we might gain more followers, but I don't know if we're gaining or losing friends at this point.
Yeah. No, gaining friends, especially in a camp like we've had the last few days.
Yeah. So. And honestly, just going out on the trail ride yesterday when we went out on Plan B, like, it's funny because you get out on one of those trail rides with 15, 20 different vehicles, and it's like everybody starts talking, and everybody's helping each other get through the obstacles. It kind of builds friendship and camaraderie. Like, I literally got back and I had like 10 new people that have followed me on Instagram, and I followed them back immediately. It was people that were on that trail ride yesterday, that I hadn't met before that.
Oh, awesome.
And it's just one of those, like, it's kind of interesting how you just spend a day, half a day on the trails with people, and you leave there, and I consider them friends now.
Yep, true.
Well, I mean, that to your point, like you were talking about earlier, we just did a ride today with a group of people, and I'd say the majority of them were not industry people like ourselves. So it was really good. Got to meet a lot of new people, and Brandon guided the ride for us, and they were all excited because he was, very interactive with them, kind of coaching them and spotting for them. So they were obviously, I think all of them would end up being fans of HCR and hopefully Pro Armor at the end of the day. We're, just having conversations and talking and see me do dumb things on a razor. So,
well, and you get to cheat a little bit with Brandon because he knows the trails so well out here.
Oh, 100%.
And he knows the trails out here in almost any vehicle. So you get a sense of security. There's certain things that are very intimidating, but once Brandon starts guiding you, all that lifts because you really can trust him. right? And once you go through one thing and you realize how smooth he takes you through certain obstacles and stuff, everybody starts to gain more and more confidence throughout the day.
That's the only way I'll rock crawl. We do these events. Obviously, you guys know. I mean, we come to 3-4 rock crawling events a year, and I go on all the trails with him. But if he's not guiding me, I won't go off of 1 foot ledge. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'll sand dune.
He stops
and
waits, looks around for Brandon.
You start charging for your services,
right? No, that's honestly been one of the fun parts about doing this, especially the last couple of years, is seeing all my friends evolve and become good drivers in the rocks and different things. And it's fun to know their capabilities and challenge them here and there to go up some stuff they probably shouldn't be.
They wear helmets, though, so it's safety. But
today.
It's the same, though.
No, what happened today? We weren't on the trail ride today.
Nothing bad. I mean,
Pete got a little western.
Yeah, there was obviously an easy line, a hard line, and I pull up, and I was planning to line up for the easy line. He's like, no, that. He pointed out, I don't want to do that one. So he's like, no, do it. And I bounced the front wheels off the rocks a little bit, and it would probably look cool on camera. One of the guys had a drone, so it looked pretty good. And I was like, oh, all right. Well, I ended up doing it. And then, 3 cars later, 5 people did it with no problems and didn't make it look as difficult as I did. So just me being an idiot, I guess.
No, there's no fact, but that's what everyone thinks, like, with these events. It is an entry level. It's any level event. You can make things easy. You can make things hard. Almost all trails have a bypass somewhere. And if not, they're going to let you know ahead of time before you start that trail. They tell you the levels of it. And so a lot of people think it's like a rock crawling only event, meaning you got to know how or what to do, when it's really welcoming to, if you've never done this in your life, this is a perfect event because this is where you're going to learn. This is where you're going to have recovery ropes and winches and guides. Like, it's a great thing if you want to learn how.
Yeah, it's just I'm not supposed to learn how in the show car.
Well, that's what's crazy about things, how much things have changed over the last few years and evolved with the capability of the machines. Like, you don't have to have all this experience anymore to go do a 7 or 8 rated trail.
Remember when we wouldn't let 50-inch cars on the trail because it was a safety issue?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Britt and I were in a bone stock other than 33-inch tires KRX, literally stone stock, and that thing, it made its way through and got through fine. It's crazy that you can now buy cars like that. I mean, I think some of the Pro Rs that were out on the trail, are pretty close to stock. These guys just bought them and like, hey, let's go and have fun. And, I mean, they're just motoring through things.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the capability of the vehicles is insane over the last, in 2008 when the 50-inch Razor was released, from then till now, it's leaps and bounds better than what it was before. And every year, regardless of what manufacturer it is, Kawasaki, Polaris, Can-Am, they all come out with amazing machines every year and make average drivers like myself look amazing.
Needs to be their slogan. We make you look good.
Yeah, you just say that, and I laugh, though. I'm like, so both you on the manufacturing standpoint, too, and you just talked about all these manufacturers coming out with new cars every year. Do you guys at one point cringe and go, man, we want a breather. Now we got to develop a new product for another car? There's got to be at one point you're like, man, they could have waited a year. We would have been okay with it.
Right.
100%. Our team feels that crunch daily. Every time they have a product development meeting and the bosses are like, hey, so where are we at with this? Where are we at? Like, we're working, we're trying to do this, and then, a couple months later, Kawasaki drops a new vehicle, or Can-Am, or one of them does, and we're trying to keep up with all the popular models, but it's tough. It's definitely challenging. It was with as quick as the technology is developing in the vehicle and as fast as they're able to turn them out, it's challenging for accessory companies like ourselves.
Well, you guys have to deal with color schemes, too, on top of everything else.
True.
Not only just the product, it's, okay, so they just released a new SE color. All right, we got to get those, color matched and out too. So it's
it's definitely challenging. On our side, we even put together packages for the dealers, make it easy. Like, hey, buy this package, and it comes with a red cage and a blue door and a whatever bumper, and put those packages together. And that's one of the things.
Granimals. You guys do Granimals for accessories.
Not sure what that is, but okay.
You know what Granimals are?
Granimals?
Yeah.
I'm thinking like this animal crackers. So.
Do you know what Granimals?
No.
All right. So there's a system for little kids when they're learning how to dress themselves, so they don't show up with stripes and plaid and this and that. And it's called Granimals. And so what they would do is the little like Lacoste logo or whatever, how they have the little animal shapes, they put that shape, they would embroider it somewhere on the shorts or pants or whatever, top and bottom. So the kids would dress themselves. They just had to make sure that the animals matched. So see, like, you just had to pick a bear top and a bear bottom, or a duck top and a duck bottom, or is anyone, because you guys are all looking at me like I'm crazy.
So is that explains why all your clothes have the little thing?
How else am I supposed to figure that out?
You realize you're talking to three guys that probably wear an industry race T-shirt every day of their life, and I know Brandon and I wear Dickie shorts every day.
I told Jim, I said, I need to bring back an adult version of Granimals, because there's times when we go to the races and stuff where
I'll be like, Britt, can I wear this? And she'll be like,
or what shirt, or doing radio today, or we're out on the trail, or who are we going with? And I'm like, we literally just need, I'm going to get the little logos done, embroidered in the corners, and you just got it all matchy-matchy. That's it.
You could be onto something.
But you guys are, it sounds like. With the whole cage thing, you just got to start putting little animal stickers
not
on.
Not for my clothes. I mean, I definitely need help. Yeah.
My race car matches, but my clothes don't.
No, we're joking. I actually had a legit question that just popped up.
Oh.
I didn't want to interrupt the shenanigans, but no, like, I was just thinking, because I was looking and there was an older unit that went by. So both of you guys have companies where, obviously things change and the new stuff comes out. People buy those, they upgrade. The legacy products, so say like a original Terex or an XP1000 or something like that was released way back when, it's still relevant, they're still sell the legacy products. Do you guys, is there immediately people buy those and then it tails off and you never sell another one, or is there still a slow trickle effect where you still get demand for some of those old legacy products?
Go ahead, Pete.
I know we get demand. It starts to tail off, from the research that we've been able to get a hold of. Like, I want to say it's 80 or 90% of accessories are bought at the point of purchase of the vehicle. Yeah. So if somebody goes in and buys a Razor or a Can-Am, whatever, they're buying majority of their product at that purchase.
Yeah. Or within the first month, probably, right?
Yeah.
But you guys also have financing, factory financing. They usually tie it in at the dealerships, which I do feel like might sway that slightly.
We don't. Pro Armor doesn't, but our parent company.
No, that's well, whether it's parent company or the dealership that you guys sell through, and they have their own in-house financing, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they do, and then that's a whole other animal, from what I understand, is with the current state of inventory and a lot of the dealers being able to charge a markup right now. So that extra money that was available to that buyer to spend on suspension or cages or whatever they want to do is being eaten up by the dealer markup, from what I've heard. So to a degree, and it's definitely hopefully a temporary thing, just because everybody's struggling with inventory levels with the way things are in the world. But
you're an economist. You know supply and demand.
I do a little bit.
Yeah, he dabbles.
So no, but to answer your question, Jim, I mean, like some of our older product, it definitely tapers off. But to your point, what the product that put Pro Armor really on the map was the door we developed for the 800 900 chassis Razor. That was sold tons of them, and we still sell that door to this day.
Yeah. Well, I remember that was what I learned. When I first learned about Pro Armor, everybody just referred to it as Pro Armor doors. Oh, you got to get Pro Armor doors on that. It was just Pro Armor doors.
Yeah,
that was the buzzword for a couple of years. Just Pro Armor doors.
Yeah,
need doors, Pro Armor.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. I think it bought the old boss a plane or a boat or two.
Now I'm curious.
Is that the same thing for you?
I'm curious on that
Brandon?
now, because it's a different dynamic. It's a different product, price point.
Yeah, I mean, basically the way I see it is we typically discontinue a product only when that model is not being produced anymore, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Typically when it gets replaced by a new model, that's when no one's going to spend the money, because that typically makes that vehicle worth half of what it ever was. And so they're not going to spend several $1,000s to upgrade their suspension on something that's only worth $10,000 anyway.
So what was the last Rhino kit inquiry you got?
Oh my gosh. I can't remember. It's been a long time.
Because I remember it would be like a year or two. You'd still get like one random one a year.
Yeah.
Up until so long ago, or like a Ranger, an original like Gen 1 Ranger kit. So
we'll get calls for parts, but that's
I mean, that's expected.
The funny thing is like the Rhinos now, we're talking about it this week, it's like they're getting kind of a resurgence. So it's like I almost see like at some point somebody's going to call and be like, hey, I want, like they're buying these things, but they want to outfit these legacy Rhinos.
Like the ATCs, though. Like the three-wheelers are all coming back.
Yeah, three-wheelers are coming back. So it's almost like at some
Rhinos
point
are legacy.
it might be actually worth making a few kits just because the Rhinos are getting hot again.
The vintage, where they're going to spend as much on the Rhinos as they will on the kit.
I Well, I mean, to that point, my dad just bought a Rhino
See?
a year ago. But he uses it in the yard. I mean, right now it's probably sitting in the yard with a rake and a shovel and, something like that hanging out the back of it. It's not really using it for off-roading anymore.
Awesome. I don't know, guys. Obviously, we're winding down here. Last day, we got his concert tonight, and I don't know. We're going to have some little fun. You guys are winding down. I guess it's almost beer 30 at some point, right?
Yeah. We got a little bit more stuff to do. Got to go do a couple of marketing things, clean up the booth, and that's probably going to be about it, I think.
Yeah, overall, it's been really good. I know participation's way up, and we had one crappy day of weather, but other than that, it's been beautiful weather.
Turnout seems to be good.
I haven't had any major accidents.
Yeah, it seemed very drama-free as far as the trails went, which is great.
Don't jinx it. We still got 4 or 5 hours.
I
still got to get in a razor one more time.
Okay. Oh, you said that word. You did the one more time thing. That's where the mess up is.
Yeah.
You got to go out 2 more times.
Yeah, now you have to go again.
Yeah, we'll see if we can make time for it. But, it's been a great event for us. We had the boss in earlier this week, and he enjoyed himself. And
he seemed like he was having a good time.
He did. He had a good time. And before he left, he's like, hey, we got to keep doing this. This is a good event. Something that you need to be here. And I was like, awesome. So.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. It's hard to be able to see it and understand it and to translate, right, on paper to say this generates this, because a lot of times it's not direct. It's indirect correlation, and you see the same people at 3-4 events, or they're wearing a shirt that you gave them 2 years ago and you see them somewhere else or at a show, or they show up with the car, or there's someone you never thought in a million years you'd actually translate into a sale. And 3 years later, they're like, yeah, I'm finally ready to buy. And they've been shopping for those 3-4 years.
So true. I mean, a big part of it for us is, to be part of the life, you've got to live the life.
Yep.
For enthusiasts, by enthusiasts.
It's out here riding on trails with them.
I tell people that all the time. There's an authenticity, and it's organic. You people in off-road, I tell people, if you want to break into the industry with a new company, you have to become a part of the culture. Once you're part of the culture, you're vetted. But this is an interesting industry, because it doesn't matter how much money you have. People realize you've got a lot of money and you're just trying to force feed stuff in. You have to go and be a part of things and prove yourself. And then once you do, the floodgates open, But if you're not out on the trails, you're not out here at the events, you're not shaking hands, seeing people, having a beer after hours with them around a campfire, it makes it tough. You can't just throw up a website and a social media account and try and push stuff out, because it just doesn't work that way.
No, 100%. I agree with you. So, to that point, Brandon and I are on trails and go to the desert as much as we can.
Yep.
That's what's funny, though. It's like, okay, we've all got day jobs, whatever, but it's like on any given weekend, Britt and I are out, you guys are out. Like, it's one of those when you live the off-road lifestyle that, work ends at 5 o'clock on a Friday, but Saturday, whether we're working an event or not, we're probably out, doing something, off-roading.
Oh, yeah.
Related in some way, or we're watching it on TV.
Yeah.
Or
we were just talking about Sunday. I might stay around an extra day and go for a ride with them somewhere over in Zion Park. It won't be business related at all. It'll just be going to have some fun with some friends.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
cool. I'm in. Self-invite.
Perfect.
Awesome, guys. Well, awesome catching up. I know you guys got to wrap some stuff up. It's been an awesome event, and obviously we got a little more fun to come tonight, I think. So
I think we can handle that.
See you guys around the Smudge Pot in a little bit.
All righty. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. We'll be back after this commercial break right here on the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone. When it's time to replace the tires on your vehicle, General Tire delivers the tires you need for both your next big adventure and your daily commute. Whether you need all-season traction, lasting tread wear, or a quiet drive, General Tires are designed to deliver whatever life brings your way. From all-season ultra-high-performance tires for passenger cars and crossovers to extreme all-season mud terrain and tires for light trucks and SUVs, General Tire delivers great performance. To find your ideal tire, visit GeneralTire.com. General Tire, official tire of the Jim Beaver Show.
Conditions off the pavement are always changing, so why settle for a light bar that just turns on and off? The Rigid Adapt is a revolutionary new light bar that will automatically select from 8 beam patterns that range from a widespread 90-degree flood to a 15-degree spot based on your vehicle's speed. Try that with your knockoff light bar. A dash-mounted controller allows the user to toggle between adaptive mode, beam patterns, and RGBW accent lighting. With Adapt, it's easier than ever to own the night.
Don't just shred your way through any off-road rugged terrain. Get into gear with GSP XTV and let us redefine your adventure. The GSP Advantage of quality and performance sets a standard for UTV axles. We strive to provide premium ATV and UTV axles to keep you shreddy ready. Kick up some dirt and get in the driver's seat with GSP XTV. With over 35 years of experience, drive with a company you can trust. Drive with GSP. For more information, please visit us at gspxtv.com today.
And welcome back here to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with who? With Brittney Cardone.
Who?
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 Who? Martha!
Henry!
That's an inside joke for another day. We got old people names. Once in a while, Britt and I turn senior citizen. No offense to you senior citizens listening in. Thank you, guys. But we do have alter egos.
when we're getting a little slower and we're not getting out of the chairs as quick and we're struggling or we can't hear, we fit the part.
Yeah,
put
we
it
fit
that
the
way.
part. Have you seen us wake up in the mornings? Our backs are all creaky and yes, this is amazing.
I love you. Thank you.
It's amazing. Amazing employee of Kawasaki. She just brought us over some wet towels.
Ice water towels.
Gosh. Yes, they're not warm. Like, here's the event where you want a cold one, and she did. And
so I'm like, a wet towel, doesn't necessarily sound. Here's a wet towel for you. It's like sop you off the beach. That feels so. I somehow got this massive sunburn the first day we were here.
Yes, she fried herself.
I've been walking around like a scarecrow for 3 days, and apparently she could see me from across the way because she just walked up and handed us some ice cold towels, and I'm in heaven right now.
My God.
So don't mind the weird noises Jim's making.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's all above the belt, I'm telling you.
We almost made it a full episode.
That's what she said in the beginning. So
there was one or two where Pete was going, and you could tell he was in full work mode.
This was
brain was half.
We did not get Sand Sports Pete on this one,
no.
We had. Yeah, we did not talk about the camp shenanigans or anything. I will just say we had one hell of a good time. Somebody had her birthday, and we won't get into all the fun that we had, but pinatas were involved. Let's just put it that way.
There's some GI follow up on that too. We'll have to talk about later. Very, very, very colorful night. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Story for another show, but it's been a fun time out here. I know we got a little bit more fun to have, Britt, but. Thanks to all you guys for tuning in. Big thanks to Kawasaki for once again allowing us to take over their booth.
Where are we headed next?
I don't know. I know, Charlotte probably. Our next adventure, I think, is Charlotte.
Okay, tentative. If not, stay tuned.
So, I don't know.
We'll fill you in.
I think we have an entire month of June planned where I don't know. I mean, we got a couple weeks. We were going to go to Indy, and I don't think that's happening next week it's just not. But I don't know. Honestly, we'll figure something out.
Where should we go next, guys?
Oh, we can always take the dog somewhere the next couple weeks.
Who's got ideas? Where are we going?
Yeah, hit us up. Let us know. And I don't know. We got a lot of fun. We'll turn up somewhere together. Promise you guys. And if not, I don't know.
If you don't hear from us for a few weeks, just somebody might want to check in.
Yeah. Right. I was like, there's so many directions I can go, and I'm not even going to go with that. We're just going to close out the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a fun time out here. I will just say in closing, if you guys haven't been to Sand Hollow, I know people don't like you advertising the really cool spots, but
no, Utah sucks.
Utah and Arizona both suck.
Yeah.
Don't come. Stay in California.
You're mad. I didn't even go that far. I just love putting the hashtag Utah sucks in some of my social posts, and then you get the one or two people that are like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, if you don't catch the sarcasm, perfect. Just stay there.
It's funny I say that, and all my friends in California just laugh. But, good times. We will see you next time right here on the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone.
That's a wrap for this edition of the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone. Don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts and follow Jim Beaver 15, B Cardone 15, and Jim Beaver Show on social media. We're also on the web. Hit us up at jimbeaver15.com for all the latest. We'll see you next time.